Hello, Super Savers. I hope you're having a good week. And trust me when I say that I feel better than I sound. And this is the best I've sounded since a little bit after Thanksgiving. So what an exciting year it's been for I-bonds and those who own them. As the year comes to a close, there are 4 important things that I've done with my I-bonds this month that I'd strongly recommend you do with yours as well. And that's what I'll go through in today's video. And if you're watching this after 2022 has ended, no worries, because you can do these 4 things any time of the year with your I-bonds if you haven't done so already. For those of you who have not maxed out your annual $10,000 limit per Social Security number or EIN for 2022, you still have until the end of the year to do this. Just keep in mind that Treasury Direct processes I-bond orders the next business day. So don't place your order on or after Friday, December 30th, 2022, because it won't be processed in 2022. It'll only be processed on January 3rd, 2023, and whatever you buy will then count towards your 2023 I-bond limit. If you want to play it super safe, you should place your order a few days before December 30th. And for those of you who have maxed out your I-bond limit in 2022, you can buy again as soon as January 1st, 2023 if you want. So here are the 4 things I've done with my I-bonds this month. This is particularly important for those of you who are planning on redeeming your I-bonds in 2023. Upon redemption, you can have Treasury Direct automatically withhold up to 50% of the I-bond interest you've earned for taxes, so that you don't have to worry about this come tax time. To update my tax withholding with Treasury Direct, I first have to sign into my Treasury Direct account. From the account summary page, I'll choose Account Info. Here's the Account Info screen that pops up. When I scroll down, I'll see that my current withholding rate is 0%. I'll click on Edit now. And on the next screen, I'll answer my security question and click Submit. This Account Info edit screen will now appear. I'll scroll down to Account Status, and in this withholding rate box, I'll enter the percentage I want withheld from my interest payments for taxes. I'll put in 25% just as an example, and then I'll click Submit. This will take me back to my original Account Info page. And if I scroll down now, I'll see that my withholding rate has been updated to 25%. Any future 1099 INT forms I get from Treasury Direct after making this change will then show the amount of interest earned on my I-bonds and other Treasury securities, as well as the amount of taxes that Treasury Direct has withheld. And yes, this withholding change does impact all the securities I hold at Treasury Direct, not just my I-bonds. Do take note that in any given year, Treasury Direct will only issue a 1099 INT if I sell some or all of my I-bonds or EE bonds, or if my bonds held at Treasury Direct have matured, or if I earn interest on other securities held at Treasury Direct, such as T-bills, bonds, notes, and/or tips. And according to Treasury Direct, 1099 INT forms are typically available by January 31st if you're supposed to get one, and you will need to go into your Treasury Direct account to download the form. This one was inspired by the many painful stories I've heard this year about adding and/or changing your primary bank account with Treasury Direct. I'm happy to report that the process for doing this is much easier and quicker now, in most cases. To do this online, I'll again first log into my Treasury Direct account. From the account summary page, I'll again select Account Info. And when I get to this Account Info screen, I'll scroll down as before, but this time I'll click on Bank Information. And this screen will pop up showing my primary bank for purchases and payments. I'll click Add. And then I'll answer my security question once more and click Submit. And this Add Bank Information screen will appear next. I'll complete the necessary information here and check the box to make this my primary bank information for purchases and payments. And once I've read through everything here, I'll click Submit. Now, I have to tell you, when I clicked the Submit button, I did hold my breath for a few moments, wondering what would go wrong. But you know what? It worked. And I now have 2 bank accounts linked to my Treasury Direct account. If you're thinking to yourself now, if it's that easy, why is Jennifer making such a big deal about adding a second bank account? Well, because it's not always that easy. And that's why I was holding my breath a bit when I clicked the Submit button. Because according to Treasury Direct, when adding a new bank account, your bank information will need to be verified by an account verification service. If the information is unable to be verified, you will be allowed 2 additional attempts. And if the bank information is unable to be verified on the 3rd attempt, a hold will be placed on your bank account and you will receive an email which includes information and a link to the dreaded Bank Change Request Form, FS Form 5512. This is that painful, often cumbersome process that I mentioned earlier that nearly everyone used to have to go through to add a bank account or change their primary bank account. So why not just add one now if you do have a second bank account? This way, if you are one of those folks that has to fill out FS Form 5512, you're one step ahead of the game when you have to make purchases from or redemptions to this new bank account via Treasury Direct. Many of you know that we have multiple accounts with Treasury Direct. Individual ones for me and my husband, minor accounts for our children, as well as trust and business accounts. If I were to pass away, which I really hope doesn't happen anytime soon, but if that did happen, I would want my husband and kids to know all those Treasury Direct account numbers, passwords, secret question answers, and what's held in each of those accounts. And yes, this includes the gift I-bonds we've purchased, who we bought them for, when, and how much. I have this backup file online as well as on paper, filed with our normal important documents. It doesn't matter where you keep yours, just have one and tell whoever is important in your life where to find it if something terrible were to happen to you. Treasury Direct should, in theory, be able to locate all our purchases given that they have our social security numbers. But better safe than sorry. It's our hard-earned money that we're talking about after all. Make sure that you have the beneficiary or secondary owner you want on each of your I-bonds so that your loved ones can avoid probate if something were to happen to you. And also to ensure that you're not leaving your I-bonds to your nagging ex-wife or annoying old boyfriend, unless you still like them or you're just a super generous super saver. On a serious note, regardless of whether it's I-bonds, life insurance, your will, or your retirement and brokerage accounts, it's wise to check and update your beneficiaries at least once a year. And definitely when there's a major life event, like a marriage, birth of a child, or grandchild, and so on. I typically do this at year end. Others do it in January. What time of year you do it is irrelevant. Just do it at least once a year. Check out this video here if you need help adding a beneficiary or secondary owner to your I-bonds. It's not an entirely straightforward process. All right, I-bond fans, I hope these 4 year-end to-dos will help you stay on top of your I-bond portfolio. And for those of you who've reached out about I-bond taxes and other I-bond questions, I have seen your emails and comments. I'll be covering much of that after the holidays. As always, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up and see you again soon with another exciting wealth building video.